Over the last 2 years, I enrolled 64 clients into my $16,000 online coaching program without a single sales call. No Zooms, no applications, no 45-minute strategy sessions, no closers, no setters, and no back-to-back calendars. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Now, I'm not against sales calls, right? They have their time and their place. I personally have done over 600 of them, and my close rate was above 50%. So I was pretty good at it. And when I hit capacity, I went and hired one of those agencies that puts closers and setters inside of your business, paid them tens of thousands of dollars, and built out an entire sales team. So it was about 2 years ago when I realized that this entire model just wasn't working for me, right? It was draining me of all of my time and energy. If I wasn't on the sales calls myself, I was working with the team. So I was managing the closers, managing the setters, helping them improve, helping them get a better close rate. And it was just taking up all my time and energy. One day, I actually remember my wife, she was watching me prep for another strategy session. She said, "You know what's crazy? You're spending more time convincing people to buy than you are actually helping them." And she was right. I was spending 20 hours a week just to get 5 clients, and then spending more time on the setters and the closers than actually helping the people that have given me money. I mean, the whole math was broken. So I burned the whole thing down, got rid of the entire team, no more closers, no more setters. All I have now is one VA. And today I make 3 times as much profit. So I take home 3 times as much income as I did back then. Plus I reduced the amount of hours I work on my business by 93%. I know it's crazy. Everybody loves sales calls, but removing them actually saved my business. And let's be honest, it probably saved my family life as well. Now, before we get into the meat of the video, let's be real. There's a lot of other videos and content and tutorials out there from people who are claiming to teach you how to sell high ticket without sales calls. But when you actually look into what they're teaching, all they're doing is they're taking a high ticket program and turning it into a mid ticket or low ticket recurring offer, right? So they'll take a 5, 10, 15K program and turn it into a 1K a week or a 1K a month. All that does is it means you take a lot longer to get paid, and a lot of those people don't complete their payment plans anyway. This is different, okay? There's no payment plans or any of that other foolishness. I'm getting my clients to pay $16,000 up front without ever speaking to them. And I want to show you 3 things so that you can do this yourself as well. Firstly, I'm going to show you why the sales call funnel is broken. Then I'm going to show you how to target specific clients who will buy quickly. And then finally, I'm going to show you the exact funnel I'm using today. You're going to get real examples and scripts that you can copy and paste into your own business. Let's dive in. So over the years, I've come to realize that the sales call funnel, it's fundamentally broken. And this all started when I needed a lawyer for a pretty complex legal issue that I had. I did some research online, spoke to some people that I trust, and the same law firm in New York kept coming up. So I reached out to these guys, told them about my situation. They responded with a 2-paragraph email, a link to a 1-page document, and a link to an invoice for $30,000. Read the 2-paragraph email, spent about 30 minutes reading through the document, and all they did in that document was highlight exactly what my problem was, exactly how they would help me, and when we could get started. I didn't even think twice about it. I paid them the $30K retainer, they got to work, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. Now, what that experience showed me is that when somebody has an expensive problem that they want solved, adding a sales call just introduces friction where it doesn't have to be. And if we take a trip down memory lane real quick, the entire book a call funnel was developed because info product marketers were running ads to cold traffic and needed to turn strangers into customers. The funnel was meant to bridge the trust gaps from people who didn't know you. This book a call funnel was hot from 2017 to 2022, but we don't live in that world anymore. Trust is at an all-time low, and your very best clients, the clients that you want to work with that will pay you quickly without having to take you through the ringer, those clients, they know what they want, they make decisions very quickly, and putting a sales call in front of them just adds friction. The absolute best clients, they don't need convincing, they need clarity on exactly how you help them, how much it costs, and a frictionless way to sign up. Time, it's your most valuable resource, and the best clients, they value their time. If we're not going to be using sales calls, then what do we replace them with? Because obviously we still need to have a conversation with our prospects before they give us a lot of money. The solution, selling directly in the DMs. And don't worry, later on in this video, I'm going to show you a DM conversation so you see exactly what it looks like. Here's 5 reasons why selling via chat or in the DMs is better than selling via the phone. First off is time. Selling via the phone requires 45 minutes per call plus your setup time. Then accessibility. If you're selling via the phone, that requires specific times plus mutual availability. Versus selling via chat, anytime, anywhere sales. You could literally make sales while you're sitting on the toilet. Client preferences. Most clients are skeptical, they hate strategy sessions, versus pretty much everybody's comfortable with having a DM conversation. Cost efficiency. As I mentioned before, sales team training costs money, right? Whether you're doing it yourself or you're hiring one of those agencies to do it, you're going to spend a lot of resources training your team of closers and setters, versus selling via chat where there's minimal cost because there's no sales team needed. And then finally, expertise. In order for you to sell on the phone, you need to have extensive sales training, versus selling via chat where you can just copy and paste your messages and the whole thing can be automated with AI. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, chin, my audience won't buy this way. The next point is going to completely flip that belief, because in order for this no-call system to work, we need to target whales. These are people who don't need convincing. I'm sure we've all seen this meme where you've got the $500 client versus the $50,000 client. This is used to demonstrate the difference of how much easier it is to work with whales versus working with fish. Whale clients, these are the clients that you want. They value solutions over process. They make decisions quickly. They pay in full without hesitation. They respect their time and, more importantly, yours. Versus fish clients who need extensive convincing. They require multiple touch points, they prefer payment plans, and they are often very indecisive. The reason why most online business owners struggle to get the clients they want is because most of their content that they put out there, it repels the whales. Instead of creating content aimed at fish, you need to create specific content that appeals to the best clients. Here's some examples of fish content versus whale content so you guys can see the difference. Fish content, the ultimate guide to email marketing in 2025. Whale content, the $200,000 mistake brands make with post-purchase flows and how to fix it. Fish content, how to start eating clean without a diet. Whale content, why every fit entrepreneur needs a 4-day hormone sync training protocol. Fish content, 10 side hustle ideas to start in 2025. Whale content, the 3-layer content model that scales you to 100K per month with under 10 clients. Fish content, top 3 drills to improve your putting. Whale content, the mental game secrets former pros use to shave 5 strokes without touching their swing. Fish content, fun activities to do with your kids this weekend. Whale content, how to break the cycle of presence guilt and become the father they'll thank you for at 25. Can you see the difference? If you want to create content that attracts whales, your content should pre-sell by focusing on the transformation, so specific A to B journey. You want to know where they are right now and where they're trying to get to. Implementation, what they need to do today to move them forward on their journey. And then finally, unique insights. What are some aha moments you could give your clients or give your audience that you know that the rest of the market doesn't know about? When you attract the right level of client, selling becomes a qualification process, not a convincing process. You want to be in the qualification business, not the convincing business. They're not asking, why should I? They're asking, how fast can we start? And again, I'm going to show you an example of a DM conversation that I had with a client that paid $16,000 so you guys can see the exact flow. But before we get into that, I want to show you the exact funnel that I'm using that turns strangers into $16,000 customers. It's called the dossier funnel. And a dossier is a simple document that outlines your offer, process, pricing, and outcomes up front. No fluff, no sales call required. It builds instant trust, qualifies serious buyers, and accelerates high-ticket sales by giving your best fit clients exactly what they need to say yes. So the old way is you'd have some type of content, organic or ads, that would go to a video sales letter or a webinar. Then they'd watch that, they'd book a call, you get them on the triage call to qualify them. After that triage call, then they'd go into another call with your closer. After that 45-minute session with your closer, you might need some follow-up, and then maybe they become a client. The dossier funnel works completely different. You start with organic content, clearly calling out high-level ICPs with expensive problems. You provide a simple document, the dossier, that transparently outlines your exact process, expected outcomes, and pricing up front. And then you close quickly in a DM conversation tailored specifically to their situation. No calls, just clarity. So what actually goes into these dossiers? And I'm going to take you through a quick overview of one right now. But if you want access to one that's actually being used, look in the description below. There's some instructions on how you can see my live dossier. Here are the 6 sections that go into the dossier. First off, who we serve. So that's basically who your ideal client is. Why this program exists. So you've got to give context as to why you've actually made the program. Your framework or mechanism. How is it that you help your clients get the results that they're after? What they get, how many calls is there, what's the curriculum, are there videos, are there PDFs, do they get access to AI, etc. Like, what are they actually getting when they give you money? Why it works, that's justification of why your mechanism and why the things that you're giving them actually work to get them the results that they want. And then finally, how to get started. And it's very important that you want to put the price in the dossier, because the reason you put the price in the dossier is that it filters out all the people that aren't serious. That means that when you're having a conversation with someone, they know how much you charge and they're happy to pay it. It removes all of the fluff. And you're dealing with an individual that wants to make decisions quickly, and you're making it easy for them to do so by removing all of the friction. And one of the best things about this, the whole thing can be done with AI. I've launched dozens of high ticket offers for myself and my clients, and all of dossiers I've built completely with AI. If you want access to the exact prompts that I use and the prompts that I give my clients, I've put the details in the description below. So at that point, once they've gone through your dossier, they're going to reach out to you. All you need to do is you need to qualify and close in the DMs. Let me show you an example. So this guy reaches out to me on October 24th at 7:09. He says, I'd be interested to know more about your e-commerce accelerator private client program. I tell him, of course, it's a program where I work one-on-one with founders to scale their brands. If you haven't seen the video where I talk about why I use one-on-ones versus group coaching, which is counterintuitive to what everybody else talks about, that's a really valuable video. I'll put a link to it in the description. So I send him directly to the details of the doc. I said, hey, have a look, and they get back to me. You can see this conversation is very relaxed, very chill, no pressure. He says, thanks for the link. I had a look at your document and your e-commerce accelerator program might be exactly what I need. Just a few questions. He asked some questions. I answered them. It's just typically like, what goes into the curriculum? Is it going to work for me? Have you worked with anybody like me? Here's my current situation. Those are the type of questions people are going to ask. I answer his questions. He says, okay, thanks for the clear answers. I'm in. Please send me whatever link I need to sign up and pay the deposit. Thanks very much. Sounds good. Welcome to the family. Looking forward to working with you. What's your email address? Here's the payment link. And here's the intake form. So that entire conversation started at October 24th and it ended at October 25th. So in less than 24 hours, I got this guy to enroll into my $16,000 coaching program without a sales call, just seven or eight messages back and forth. That is it. That is how easy this process can be when you target whales and you use the dossier funnel. So let's wrap this video up. Just to recap, sales calls aren't bad per se. They're just not necessary anymore. The best clients, the whales, the clients you actually want to work with, they don't want to book a call. They want to make a decision. And it's your job to help them make the best decision possible. So move all the friction away from them and let them make that decision and give you the money that you're worth. Now, if you want one-on-one help implementing this model into your business, just DM me the word mentor. I'll send you my dossier. Have a read through it. If it makes sense, then we can have a quick conversation about whether we should work together or not. Now, if you want access to all the resources I've talked about in this video, the DM script, an example of a live dossier, I've put the details in the description. Now that you understand how the dossier funnel works and why we ditch sales calls, I highly recommend that you watch my next video on how I use AI to create high ticket offers in under an hour. I'll put a link to that video somewhere on the screen or in the description. Now, I just want to leave you with one final thing. We don't want to be in the business of convincing people to work with us. We want to be in the business of qualifying people to see who we want to work with. And that all starts from ditching the sales calls and moving into a sell via chat or sell via DM model. So I'm going to wrap this up. That's it from me. God bless, take care, and I'll catch you in the next video.